My biggest fear in life is that this man may never witness our full takeover.
If you beef one Somali, you beef every Somali.
They're jealous of our success because
this is shameful. Somalis in America are feeling sad that they are the new targets of the ICE raids. Here is a man who decided to drop down in the middle of a parking lot and begin praying, and so he's getting deported. Americans are tired of people abusing freedom of religion and using it as a way to exceed $1 billion in fraud in Minnesota alone. That is why Americans are happy about these specific deportations, unless of course they are liberals, and you're gonna see what liberals are doing to fight for the Somali community. Meanwhile, Somalians are responding to Americans being annoyed with them by simply being more annoying, and now claiming that the entire African American community also has to stand in solidarity with them. And they're also coming up with this ridiculous joke that they were promised Minnesota 3,000 years ago.
So facts are coming out now that Minnesota was promised to the Somalis. And
then when Americans are not laughing at them, at their joke, making fun of our founding fathers and principles, they think, oh, Americans have no sense of humor and they just can't take a joke, further just hating on the country that has housed them.
As you guys can tell, I have a bit of a cold.
And so it's been a little bit of a rough week. Please make sure that you're subscribed to my channel. Let's go ahead and see everything that is going on.
Something beautiful happened in our community today. It started with an invitation for a few friends to join me for lunch, to support our Somali community, support our businesses, and write a few notes of encouragement. But people just kept coming in the door. Friends had invited friends, and before we knew it, the restaurant was filled from front to back. Hundreds of notes were written and delivered to all of our local businesses today. We love you, Wilmer. Thank you for your support.
Interestingly, these Americans and the Somalis living in America don't seem to actually care to help Somalia at all, even though the Somalians seem to love Somalia more than they love America. Here's another example of liberals just doing the wrong thing.
Leave him alone! Call 911! Call 911! They're doing kidnapping! That's illegal! Leave him alone!
They're doing kidnapping?
Leave him alone!
I think they need to check the documentation of the lady making this video.
Kidnapping! This is called kidnapping! Kidnapping!
At least her English is good enough to know the word kidnapping, yet she doesn't know how to use it in the proper context. Here we have the Minneapolis mayor saying that he's not going to work with ICE.
And the message that we are sending to our Somali community
is that we have absolutely no power and the deportations will go on. They just say a bunch of crap. We're not going to cooperate with ICE. Yeah, then how come ICE is deporting people? Better not say anything at all, dude.
To our Latino community, to any community that is being targeted.
To any community that can mass vote for me.
Minneapolis is not backing down. Our police officers will not coordinate with any federal agency that is doing immigration law enforcement work. We stand with the community members that make Minneapolis the extraordinary place that it is, and we aren't backing down.
We stand with the fraudsters because you're probably getting something from it. Why would you stand with a community of fraudsters? Make that make sense. Make it make sense what this school district has to gain from raising a Somali flag. This is shameful. I don't even think kids are saying the Pledge of Allegiance as much in school anymore. And now they're raising a Somalian flag? This is a group of people that will say, literally, we're here to take over.
If you beef one Somali, you beef every Somali. If there's one thing about Somalis, they are going to ride out for their Somali brothers and sisters. They are going to crash out. They don't do one-on-ones. They're gonna jump you. Abdi's gonna go tell Rekta, he's gonna go tell her brother Mo, who's gonna go tell Naima, and she's gonna tell her Upti. You are well and truly. If you get into
honestly, my entire commentary career is just coming down to one word: deport, deport, deport. You're talking about how you're going to have an entire gang of people go up against someone who beef one Somali. You're not even speaking right, dude. You're trying to use American slang by saying, if you beef one Somali, what the hell is that? How about we bacon one Somali, okay? Like, you're just speaking random nonsense. The proper way of saying it would be like, if you beef with me, then you beef with all of us. But you don't even sound like that. Like, your message isn't even getting across because you don't speak English properly. So get the hell out of the country. Honestly, deport. That's all I have to say. Okay, I'm tired of being nice. Somalis are being hated for becoming successful too fast and driving nice cars. That is incorrect. People are hating on Somalians because of the fraud.
The racists are actually just jealous of Somalis because of how successful we became in a matter of one generation.
Oh, for sure.
And I was watching a lot of videos that are coming up on my For You page where people are saying, how come Somalis have nice cars and we don't? We've been here like how many generations? We were born here, our ancestors are from here, but Somalis drive nice cars. This whole thing is just making me realize is jealousy. They're jealous of our success because they expect us like to be at the bottom of the bottom, right? And then we come here one generation.
Okay. That woman has no self-awareness at all. In this video, there's a guy who exposes how Somalians are just leeching off of welfare, not just in the United States, but all over the world. But he does it in a really ironic way. This woman made an amazing post exposing how the Somalians live. And then another woman decides to dance to it as if it is a flex. Okay, so here's what she had to say.
Come see Columbus, Ohio, fraud investigators. If you go to the government-assisted housing areas, you will find that most of the housing is Somalians. I would say about 80% of the government-assisted housing in Columbus is occupied by Somalians. And the parking lot is occupied with a whole bunch of brand new cars. And the women walking around have designer purses with EBT cards, and they have Apple iPhones stuck up in their hijabs.
Okay, so they're abusing the welfare system of a country that they hate.
The government-assisted housing in Columbus is occupied by Somalians, and the parking lot is occupied with a whole bunch of brand new cars. And the women walking around have designer purses with EBT cards, and they have Apple iPhones stuck up in their hijab.
I mean, such disrespect. Honestly, like literally sticking your tongue out like a toddler. Grow up.
If you're kicking out Somalis, you have to kick out everyone else. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I'm speaking for all of my African brothers and sisters. If you kick Somalis out, you have to kick all of them out. All of us, we all leave together. Because if you kick us out, you have to kick everyone else. I'm gonna be honest.
What?
And I know everyone in the comments, everyone watching this video agrees with me.
The unfortunate thing is that when you look at the comments, everybody did agree with him, which is obviously just ridiculous. The fact that he is singling out African Americans for any reason is so ridiculous just because maybe they have somewhat of a similar complexion, but it just shows that the deportations have never been about race, but simply based off of the fact of whether people have documentation or not. African Americans are just as American as any other American. It has to be one of the stupidest things that I've ever seen. Somalians being angry at African Americans. Here's another one.
I have never seen this much hate coming from a certain community, to be specific, the African Americans here. All of a sudden, y'all want to laugh, giggle, because an unfortunate event is happening to other people.
Unfortunate event. An unfortunate event is like a hurricane, but when you enter into a country without documentation, it's like going out into the rain without an umbrella and being like, why did my hair get wet? Why would Americans defend a community that has been abusing our welfare programs and committing so much fraud? And what's crazy is that they say the most outrageous things and still expect support somehow because they victimize themselves. They're like, we will completely take over everyone and we will force our religion on you. Now, please support us. It's like, no.
My biggest fear in life is that this man may never witness our full takeover. Yes, he may never witness that. He already witnessed our partial takeover, our little success in America.
Little
and
success.
He is the reason actually I know that the community in America is thriving. He is how I know. It's like he's how we measure our progress. If he doesn't tweet, somebody messed up. I know it. Somebody fucked up the plan. If he tweet, I know. We're doing the right things. Yes, that's how I know. So he's old and sick, I know.
It's just the mindset is just repulsive.
So facts are coming out now that Minnesota was promised to the Somalis. And that was 3,000 years ago. Those are facts. Facts don't care about your feelings. Debate a wall. Doesn't matter to us. But one of the things that many people don't know is that the name of the lake that is so-called Lake Calhoun or Bede Makaska is actually derivative of a Somali phrase, which is Bade Makasikahai, which means Badeda, my body of water. Makasikahai, I will never move away from there. Maka.
Ha 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 ha. This guy is so funny, yet the reason why it's not funny is because they pull this kinds of stuff all the time. They're like, this is what our religion has made up, and in my opinion, and it comes from a sincere place, is that their entire religion is just a bunch of made up stuff, and that's the real joke, that's the real funny thing, and yet it seems like what he's doing right now, they're like, oh, well, we just believe this to be true, and we're going to speak a different language to try to back that up so we can claim it as freedom of religion. So that's the reason why I don't find this whole promised Minnesota 3,000 years ago joke funny at all. I think it's just disrespectful.
Yo, Minnesota was promised to us Somalis 3,000 years ago. And if you disagree, you're an anti-Kushite bigot and you need help.
Oh, is that supposed to be a joke too? Is a part of the joke spreading hate to Americans for not supporting your made-up religion and made-up satire?
Immediately. Also, if you read Genesis 12:3, it says that those who bless Somalis will be blessed, and those who try to harm them will bring harm upon themselves. I didn't say that. Genesis 12:3.
Okay, here's the video I was telling you guys about.
Here are a few things to keep in mind. In Norway, 27% of Somali-born households do not rely mainly on government assistance. In Sweden, 36% of Somali-born adults are either employed or in education. In Denmark, 31% of Somali immigrants and their descendants are not on public benefits. These are just a couple things to remember during the discussion of whether or not we should let more third worlders into the United States.
Okay, every Somalian who made a joke about the 3,000 years promised Minnesota, whatever, needs to take notes on actual humor, American humor from this video specifically. The inspirational music, the emphasis on the do not use welfare programs. It is just comedic gold, okay? And it also really drives the point home. But of course, Somalians aren't gonna like that joke because it's based in truth.
This is a reminder that celebrating Christmas is not halal.
Guess what? Nobody cares. Liberals always scream, no shame! Yet, this is a group of people that have no shame and walk through malls like this. They also think this is a great sense of humor. Me and my fellow Somalis enjoying American taxpayer money in Kenya right now. Is there another group of people within our country that hates America so much? This is just disrespectful. And the problem is they have no issue disrespecting us.
40-year-old Helena Bowe not happy that Ferndale police made her remove her hijab, her religious head covering, while booking her after a traffic stop on June 21st of this year.
I'm Muslim, so it's very important that I wear hijab. It's like a form of worship for me. Like I'm constantly in worship to my Creator.
And now she wants Ferndale police to pay her $250,000.
Our clients' rights were violated by
Okay, wait, why is this woman wearing one? This woman wants $250,000 because the police did their job. Okay, America is a country where one of our main industries is media, film, production, and yet this woman wants $250,000 because they took her picture. That just shows how incompatible their culture is with America.
Hello, Donald Trump. What do you say? Somali people is a garbage. No, you the garbage. Because you fire. You are
What?
not no more an American president. Somali people, we are American. We are American citizens.
She has like a kindergarten level of speaking. Also, it's really bizarre that she thinks that she can just identify as an American. We're Somalians, we're American. That's not how it works. That's why I wish all Americans understood why it's so important that physical paper, the documentation saying that you are an American citizen or have legal status. Because being an American isn't an idea, it's a literal physical document.
That my former home state of Minnesota is currently in the news due to Trump and the Somalian issue. I worked at a major food production facility that supplies the United States and Canada with food.
YouTube is not gonna let me like post everything that he just said. If you guys want to look up his TikTok, it's right here. When I first saw this, I was like, there's no way that this is true. And I just remembered a taxi ride that I had with this taxi driver, and he was explaining to me what Minnesota was like. And he was telling me that on the buses, they had to put signs not to pee and poop on the bus because people were doing that. And so I mean, it honestly kind of puts two and two together for me. I'm like, I mean, maybe. Yeah, that sounds realistic. We're so fortunate in America. Why are you doing that? Liberals are normalizing eating with your hands because white people... Do you know how greasy your hands are? I mean, not even grabbing it with a tortilla. It feels so much better when it's someplace far away. It's just like, oh, Dearborn, they need to figure that out. Or whatever place in Texas, they need to figure that out. And recently, I searched up what city in Colorado has the highest Somali population. And I learned that a while ago, I believe it was in the early 2000s, there was this some type of meat factory or food factory in a city in northern Colorado, and they brought in a bunch of Somali immigrants into a town with a really small population, and they had them working at this factory. But eventually, everybody was leaving the factory line because they all had to pray at the same exact time, which made it so the factory couldn't operate. And so the factory fired them because how are they going to operate with them? And I'm pretty sure that's like why they brought them in. And so it was completely like not very beneficial to anybody. And then on top of that, they sued the company saying that they were being fired for religious rights or whatever. But yet they literally were not doing their job and were just expecting more and more breaks. And that was crazy because it actually hit close to home for me. And so it would be interesting if you guys let me know what are some things that you guys are seeing in your communities. Thank you so much for being a part of this channel. Would you double check that you are subscribed? And I will see you next time.